The New Patriotic Party is getting ready for its national conference on July 19. At this particular conference, the party is going to consider a host of constitutional recommendations from the Amendment Committee chaired by the party's Director of Legal Affairs, Frank Davis. But there's a certainty that on January 31, 2026, the party is going to hold its presidential primaries. This is a novelty because this will be the first time the party will be electing its presidential candidate first before electing the internal executive officers. A number of personalities within the party have given an indication of contesting for that primaries on or in January 31, 2026. So far, we can count about 4 of these persons, including the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, former Agric Minister, Brian Champon, former MP for Asin Central, Kennedy Ohene Ejapon. We also know that the former Education Minister, Dr. Ya Osei Educho has also declared his intention to contest in this primaries. Beyond these 4, we've also heard of intentions from persons like from the camp of Boache Jako. We've also seen indications coming in from the camp of the Kwabene Japan, the former General Secretary of the party. But the party is yet to open nominations for persons who are interested to officially file. But we can count not less than 5 of these persons who have given indications. They've not only given indications, but gone ahead to meet with party stakeholders who are going to be part of the decision makers on January 31, 2026. We know that some NPP MPs, they say over 60 of them in Parliament at the moment, have supported Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The camp of Kennedy Ohene Japan also says that he has 52 MPs on his side. Well, the NPP MPs are only 8, and of course it is only when the campaign actually begin and they go into the ballot booths to cast their ballot that we may get to know who exactly has a majority of the MPs. We know that Brian Champon also has some of the MPs to his side. The NPP runs a delegate system where some persons who, by virtue of their positions or past positions, are allowed to participate in the election. We are well aware that the party is seeking to expand this delegate list and is going to increase the number of persons who vote per certain categories of positions. So, for instance, we know that previously the polling stations, if per polling station you have 5 persons who vote. We are told that on July 19, when this is approved by the National Delegates Conference, they are going to select 7 each from each polling station. We're told that it's going to have that effect on various levels of the party structure. In addition to this, we know that former MMDCEs are also going to participate in the delegate election if agreed to by the National Delegates Conference. This is entirely different from what has been happening over the period. And as a result of this and in anticipation that the National Delegates Conference is going to approve this recommendation, various candidates have been engaging the former MMDCEs. We know that Kennedy Ohene Japan, somewhere last week, met with the former MMDCEs. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia today is also meeting with former MMDCEs, and we understand this is in furtherance of his own ambition and his vision to run as flag bearer of the party and to represent the party in the 2028 general election. The meeting is happening here at Alisa Hotel, and some of these former MMDCEs, I must say, most of whom are the immediate past MMDCEs. We don't know in what form or shape the recommendations from the Amendments Committee is going to take, whether it's going to go back to MMDCEs even during the Kufuor era or even during the first term of President Akufo-Addo. But what we know is that at least deliberations on the part of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has begun with just the immediate past MMDCEs. So we'll take you into the hall where the engagements are expected to be done and get to understand and see how really things are going to pan out. We'll try and see if we can speak to some of them and get to interact them on, life in opposition. These were the president's representatives and the various districts, municipalities, and the rest. How life in opposition has been. And the NPP haven't lost the 2024 election. There have been conversations about its performance. And at a very decentralized level, at a very local level, these were the people who were in charge of policy, who were in charge of development. We run a system where, on paper, members of parliament are supposed to be in charge of the legislative aspect, while the MMDCEs are supposed to actually be the development agents. And so, if there's agreement that the parties lost in the 2024 election is because of the poor performance of the NPP or some poor decisions of the NPP, perhaps this will be an important time to interact with them, to look at in their own districts, in their own municipalities, what was the performance of the government, what was their performances, and if at the end of the day Ghanaians judge them unfairly, or the results of the ballot was really a fair verdict on their performance as MMDCEs and as government as a whole. Beyond this also, of course, the conversations about a reorganization of the party, the top-down approach, which a lot of people, I must say some people within the party, have expressed opposition to. We may want to pick their views on it. Let's begin and see if we can catch with some of them here. Senior, you're live on ChannelOne TV.
Thank you very much.
Please, can you help us with your name and the district you were in charge of?
My name is Honorable Ike Apau Jesse, aka Jumera.
Jumera.
Yes. New job in South, Kofre area. And as a matter of fact, we are now metropolitan.
So you would have been a mayor. You would have been a mayor if you were selected this time.
Absolutely.
Anyway, how has opposition been?
Well, it's been a very humbling experience. I think that we have all had time to reflect and also more or less strategize as to how to come back big time and take over the reins of governance in this country. So for me, it is worth every bit of it.
But since the NPP lost power, there have been conversations about why it lost power. And central among this is that Ghanaians were not satisfied with the performance. And do you think that is a reflection really of the NPP government in 8 years?
Well, I think that a lot of Ghanaians will sit back and reflect and come to the realization that indeed the NPP did marvelously well. Looking at the things His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama had promised or said to the whole country, and looking at what they are doing now.
He's just 6 months in office.
But Agrobeda Ifranopa.
I mean, the city has appreciated.
The city's appreciation has a historical background. Under the able leadership of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, of course, as the economic leader, okay, the fundamentals had been set right. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama referred to the policies and programs that had been put in place, especially the gold for oil program and also the buying of gold as a country. So you could see that the policy that had been put in place really supported the strength of the city. So how could a government that had come in less than 6 months be saying that they have been able to stabilize the city? It's practically impossible. It's because of the programs that had been put in place before.
But I mean, you have put programs in, but during your tenure, Ghanaians didn't feel that reduction. The city went all the way to about 17 cities before dropping down.
You see, one thing about Ghanaians, we need to learn to be patient. Okay, patience, they say, is a virtue. Okay, a lot of people did not have the patience for us. It has taken America over 300 years to get to where it has gotten now. What is the lifespan of our democracy? Okay, Ghana as a whole is about 67, 68 years. Okay, so I'll plead with the good people of this country, let us be patient as we come together to build this nation. For me, if the economy is good, it's good for everybody. And we ought not to be too partisan. Sometimes I think we go to the extreme ends. We need to look at the bigger picture. Ghana is bigger than everybody. Okay, let us look at the interest of, if a policy is good for the country, irrespective of whoever has put that policy in place, we need to support that. Ghana first, as far as I'm concerned. And that's why I like the name of your station, number one, right? Yes. And I think you journalists should always draw our attention. I'm a politician, of course, I admit to that. But to be honest with you, I don't lose sight of the fact that I'm Ghanaian first. Okay? So, for me, I am waiting for this country to go through the transformational process that we have always been talked about. And in my view, I think that we have in His Excellency Dr. Bawumia a leader that has shown a proven track record.
Oh, that means you have selected among the lot already.
Let me say this. You know, this country, okay, when we nurture leadership, we must always give it time to blossom. I see Dr. Bawumia as somebody who has been nurtured by this country. And in my view, I think that he will be a fine president for this country.
So you're going to support him for the 2028 bid?
I mean, obviously.
I mean, Brian Champon is from your region.
Yes. Brian is another excellent gentleman. And, you know, for me, he's also equally being prepared. I think that in the nearest future, and this NPP as a party will have leaders who will be able to hold this country and move it forward.
But so this brings me to the conversation about the reorganization of the party, which is you have to elect the flag bearer first, which is novel, at least to a number of watchers or observers of the NPP.
Yes.
Do you support that? Something that is only to capture power for Dr. Bawumia?
It's an excellent decision taken by the National Council. You see, we have been doing the very same thing for many, many years, and we're getting the same results. with this decision, there is a novelty. And I think that this decision is going to make sure all the acrimony, the infighting, after we have elected our leader, the noise comes.
You think this can solve it?
It will. Look, when you start from the polling station up, every presidential candidate or an aspirant will try to, place their own people in the various positions, right? And it's so acrimonious that it always creates problems for the party. And we have identified that as the bane of our great party. So if in the wisdom of our National Council, they have decided that, listen, you know what? Let us elect our presidential candidate first before we trickle down. What is wrong with that?
But what you also do is that you give the person you're going to elect in 2026 an upper hand to fix people who supported him.
Who will elect such a person into the presidential aspirant position? Is it not the people? So if you've given the mandate to the person, you have to support. We need to be disciplined as a society. Once we go ahead and elect somebody to lead a party like NPP, we must all fall in line.
Aren't you afraid that you are only creating a pseudo unity and not the unity in itself?
Not at all. Not at all. In my view, I think that this will inure to the benefit of our great party.
We know Dr. Bawumia is meeting former MMDCEs. Yes. It looks like you do not need any convincing again. But what is your expectation generally with the engagement?
Well, and I will say this. For the first time, I think that the party underutilized the strength of its MMDCEs. The kind of support and also the leadership some of us exhibited in our various municipalities. I don't think the party utilized that.
But what again could the party have used you for? I mean, you are MMDCE.
Listen, my brother, in an election, okay, if you are not given any specific role to perform, it's politics, my brother. Empower the somebody who represented the president on the ground.
So you think that in the integral structure of the campaign, you should have been involved?
There was a huge mistake, and I'll even say it here if I'm given the opportunity. I will say it here. How can you, renegade somebody who has supervised the entire municipality or district for almost 8 years, or let's say 8 years, and when it came to the crunch, you say, you know what, you be at number 10 position.
But there were party chairmen, the party executives, the parliamentary.
The party chairman come to the municipal chief executive or the district chief executive to get things done on the ground. What are we talking about here?
That was a structural flaw.
Mistake. It was a huge mistake, and I'll repeat it here. Even if Dr. Bawumia is in chair, I'll say it. It was the biggest mistake.
MMDCs should be co-opted into the campaign team?
You have no choice. You have given the person the mandate to look over the entire municipality. And when it mattered most, that he should take advantage and let him be part. Of course, I am not saying that.
Thank you very much. What we get is that the former vice president is here, and he'll be having a meeting with them. We've been speaking with the new job in former MCA, and so Dr. Bawumia, he's making his way into the room where he's here with the former majority leader, Osechi Mensah. He's coming to meet with the former MMDCEs. Again, in his company is Dr. Nsian Asare, former Director General of the Ghana Health Service. Also, he's going around greeting the MMDCEs, trying as much as possible to court the support of the former MMDCEs, to make sure that they support him in his bid to lead the new patriotic party. Again, what we've been told is that journalists will not be allowed in the meeting itself. It's going to be a closed-door meeting, but after that, we will be briefed and will be told of the outcome or inclinations that Dr. Bawumia has received out of the engagement with these former MMDCEs. The NPP on July 19 is expected to, the NPP on July 19 is expected to hold the National Delegates Conference. After the National Delegates Conference, then the party will now become aware of reforms that will be made to its constitution, subsequent to which the party's constitution will be reviewed, and then the next agenda will be the election of the flag bearer before anything else. Dr. Bawumia has given an indication of contesting again. He's trying as much as possible to court the support of various MMDCEs, court the support of various individuals who are contesting, various individuals who are going to be decision makers as far as the January 31, 2026 primaries is concerned. And so the meeting is about to start in earnest. And what we've been told is that this essentially is a closed door meeting. And so we are moving out of the meeting ground, and it is happening here at Lisa Hotel. So when they are done with the meeting, we'll do well here on ChannelOne TV to bring you updates as to what exactly transpired. We do not know if any of the MMDCs will declare their support for Dr. Bawumia here. But I mean, the new job in South MCE, former MCE that we spoke to, he indicated that to him, Dr. Bawumia has been trained. He thinks that the country has invested in Dr. Bawumia, and he is actually giving out his support to Dr. Bawumia, and hoping that the NPP and Ghanaians at large will give the opportunity to Dr. Bawumia to lead Ghana. Reporting for ChannelOne TV, Hansen Ajiman.